The moms are at the Mayukwayuka Refugee Settlement in western Zambia. This trip involves a variety of African experiences, some of which allow the group to give back to the communities they visit. Here, they'll be helping with the day-to-day running of the camp. Delinda, a camp manager, has first-hand experience as a refugee herself.
I'm proud to say I worked 13 years for UNHCR. I had to run away from Sierra Leone with the refugees.
So you're a refugee.
Oh. But that experience made me appreciate more what I'm now doing.
They're welcomed by a group waiting to receive some essential supplies. Many of the refugees will spend the rest of their lives here because it is too dangerous to return to their original countries. The mom's first task is to hand out mosquito nets, which help protect the refugees from the malaria-carrying insects.
The bed nets are supplied by the National Malaria Control Center. It's part of the Zambian government, and it's being distributed on a national level.
Right next to me, it was Amy O, Amy W, and Tammy. I look over and I'm like, what are you doing with a sarong in your hand? She's like, this is not a sarong. This is a sanitary pad. And I'm like, shut up.
Each female refugee must sign for a fabric sanitary napkin. Those who can't read or write use their fingerprints.
We were handing out the long fabrics of cloth that they use for sanitary pads.
We just think it's too pretty for that.
I just said it doesn't look very absorbent. And they have to use this for 6 months, and they wash it and recycle it then.
I wasn't surprised by it because that's what a lot of people use when they don't have access to these disposable paper products. I mean, there's getting them, they're expensive, and then there's disposal issues. I mean, what else are you going to use, right? Beats moss and leaves, you know?
The moms also help out at the settlement's family health clinic.
We went to the clinic and weighed the children to see if they were malnourished. 7.3. I have a young child and I bring him in for his well baby visits, so it was interesting to see how a completely different culture does that. What a precious, sweet baby.
I can't imagine the logistics to keep track of all these people. And they said every time a baby's born, they register the birth and it has to get a passport from the country of origin because they're not Zambian.
Oh, it makes me miss my baby so much. But you know, the moms seem very concerned, just like I'm very concerned when I bring my son in, so I felt like I could relate to them on that level. We actually went to see some children that were malnourished. We met a mother and her young daughter who were both malnourished.
PCM, we call protein, calorie, malnutrition.
We saw mothers and babies in dire straits.
Okay, let's say whenever.
It's hard to get them to eat when they're sick, too. You know, kids, they don't like to eat when they don't feel good.
She's just
Mary Beth recalls her own daughter, who suffered complications after birth.
Okay.
I'm looking at this baby born at this refugee camp. Jonah was born at like this top-notch, state-of-the-art, where they bring all the sick babies hospital. And so anyway, I just was walking around the hospital realizing that if she were born here, she'd be dead. And I just thought, that's just so unfair. Not that I didn't think life was fair, but it was just a reminder of how unfair it is.
At the food distribution center, the women give out the monthly rations.
Hundreds of people standing in line for food.
This is a gentleman in charge of the food distribution here.
I'm told you want to help us do the distribution. You are welcome, please.
I helped hand out maize, which they give out once a month. And each family gets a pound of maize per person per day. And that has to last them the month.
They will always produce a temporary card. What is written on the temporary card must correspond with what is on the beneficiary list.
How many? How many?
That to me was the highlight, the whole point of coming here.
We busted our butts. I mean, really good system they had down.
The edible beans had the American flag on it. And right where I live at south of there is a big area that raises edible beans. And so it's kind of cool to think that maybe those beans came from our area. We have so much, and I have so much. I mean, I'm wealthy beyond beliefs now that I've looked at these other people.
To thank the women for their hard work, the refugees perform a traditional dance.
The refugee camp was the biggest thing that I was ever a part of, but biggest isn't the right word. The most intense, the most sort of politically important, just the size of it.
Meeting the people, they seemed not to resent us being there at all, and it was nice to be able to actually help.
It's just something that I'll never forget.
Coming up, the moms change places with the guides in a surprising exchange of cultures.